Hi, my name is Lucas Peterson, and this is my story. So, we'll get into it, giving a little background about myself. Was born in Kansas, raised in Boise, Idaho. My mom's was actually not even born in the country, and they were, refugees when they got to the country. So, they grew up, dirt poor. My mom was 9 when she got to the country, and their family basically has kind of struggled ever since. Like they're not wealthy, they're not. I mean, they get by, but it's nothing crazy. My dad, on his side of the family, you know, grew up in Kansas, farmers, again, but they moved around a lot, just got by. A little back on my immediate family, it's me and my older sister. My mom and dad, they were young parents. I think my mom was even a teen parent. Moved to Boise, Idaho with nothing. And mom going to college, while raising me and my sister. My dad, took the first stable job that he could get out here and has actually been working there ever since. So really, we have kind of struggled. I mean, I've really grown up knowing money isn't everything and money doesn't bring you happiness, but I've been through it all. I know what nothing feels like. I know being poor feels like. I know living in a 2-bedroom apartment feel like. But then I also know, my mom who worked her butt off, and my dad just got a recent, big promotion that like tripled his salary. So I was like, I know what the good side feel like now. We're living comfortable. We can finally, spoil ourselves, buy some nice stuff. So it's like I know what both sides feel like. So a lot of the times, like I don't take things for granted, but it is a stress in my life is my family and making sure everybody's all right, and especially like our money situation. Because I know my mom and my dad, they're selfless. They did everything for me and my sister. They do everything for my family now. They support basically everybody, and I see the stress that they go through. So it's like me, I was the youngest in the family. Everything has been aligned for me. I have every single opportunity possible in life. I was put in sports when I was a kid. None of my other family could play sports because they always had to have jobs. And I was a college athlete. I'm going to be the first one to get a bachelor's degree. I just got accepted into master's school. I'm going to be the first one to get a master's degree in my family. So it's like I don't take things for granted. And I know what my role is in my family. Like if everything has been, I was the most privileged growing up, everything handed to me. I know my role is to be there for my family. You know, um, when you put, it's not like they put all their eggs in one pot, but it's like they made everything for me to be successful. So I feel, and I know deep down, it's part of my responsibility now when I grow up, when I start making money, to give back, to help them out, because they have helped me out my whole life. So that brings a lot of stress, good and bad, because I am someone that I perform well under stress. Because I run track in college again. Like it's either you succeed or you crumble, and I succeed. Obviously, I've gotten to this point. The stress, it fuels me and I perform well. I step up to the challenge. But it doesn't mean that I can't take a toll when I see my family struggling and I can't do anything about it. When I'm still dependent on my family and, I need them and I can't do anything about it yet. Like I will one day, but yet, it takes a toll on you. It really, like it's just starting to get to me. I'm just ready, to be in that next stage of my life where I can help them. And it can put some pressure on me because it's like, well, I'm kind of a like an inspiration. Like they're looking to me. It's like I'm the one that is able to do all of these things. I bring the positivity when maybe there's not it. So I know that there can be a lot of weight on my shoulders because I need to succeed for my family. Like I have to get it done. Like there's no other way. If I fail, I'm failing my family because they have given me everything, and I'll just be a huge letdown to not give in return. So challenges, both positive and negative, are my family. Money, a lot. I mean, I know money isn't everything, but I need to help my family, So that causes a lot of negative and a lot of good stress. Negative stress because in the moment I have no money. Negative in the moment I can't help them. Negative in the moment I see us struggling at moments and I can't do anything. I can't be there for them. Positive in that I have learned their determination. I have learned their hard work, their perseverance, their selflessness. So that positive stress and those qualities that I've learned propel me forward. They drive me to succeed. I don't get complacent. I don't take things for granted. Like, I will succeed. I said I'm gonna get my bachelor's degree. I got my bachelor's degree. I said I'm gonna get into master's school. I got into master's school. I will get my master's degree and I will graduate. I will get my career job and then I'll support my family. That's the determination that I learned and that I picked up along the way in life. That's what's important to me, is my family and being there for them. They're always there for me. Again, I'm the youngest, I'm the baby. Whenever I need anything, I can call any of them up at any time, and they got me. So what's important to me is succeeding for them and giving back to them, being there for them, always having their back. When I'm older, they can look to me for help. Like when they need relief off of their shoulders, I can be the one. So that being said, it definitely does cause me like anxiety or fear, because it's fear. What if I can't do this? What if I don't do this? What if I give up? What's going to happen to my family? I remember my family has been through a lot of things recently that definitely like have very, very like worst things imaginable. And like, it just makes you more conscious. It makes you think, is everybody good? Is everybody okay? And I want to be there for them. So it definitely causes me like anxiety, because it's like, well, we didn't know these things were happening, so how do I know it's not happening now? That anxiety can be really negative because it has a big impact. You worry all the time, and worrying and stressing, that fight or flight, having that all the time definitely takes a toll. You can get exhausted, you can get tired. So that definitely causes me discomfort. What I need is not necessarily what I need, but what everybody need, in general, even in my family, is just support, communication. Things that happen in my family, we had no idea until it was too late. So it's like support, knowing that I can rely on anybody at any time, knowing that I do feel a lot of weight on my shoulders, but knowing that I'm not in it alone. I always have my family. Communication, you're struggling, you're going through it, tell somebody, don't just repress it. A person that's really impacted me positively is my aunt. It's my youngest aunt, and she's been through it all, and she's kind of been the backbone for this family as of right now. And like, it can be negative sometimes because you see some of the decisions she makes and it's like, well, dang, like, I looked up to you, or it's like, I don't really necessarily agree with that, but at the end of the day, it's all positive because she done everything for us. I can call her any moment, hey, let's go get a drink, and then she'll be there just to support me, so I can talk, so I can vent. 2 a.m, hey, auntie, I need to talk. She's got me no matter what. So it's like, she definitely has had the biggest impact on me. And as of recently, of course, I'm a huge mama's boy. My mama, that's my rock. That's my foundation. That's my girl right there. My mama, she do everything, And definitely like a best friend relationship with her. And I learned a lot from my mom too, because me and her are very, very alike. So it's like, I see the negative things on her and I'm like, dang, I'm the same exact way. But I can learn from that. And I see the positive things and I'm like, I'm glad I picked that up from you. A way that I've learned a lot of important life lessons especially with my family, is just through experience. I mean, kind of sucks because a lot of times the experience, like, things kind of have to hit the fan sometimes, like, like a falling out with somebody in the family. But a lot of times, like, me with that resilient mindset, I learned from it and I could overcome it. Um, so, like, definitely, I have learned my life lessons through experience. I see what other people do and what they're going through, and I learn from it. I don't just take it for granted. I see the own things that I'm doing, and I can learn from experience. Like, you can sit back and reflect and be like, this is what happened. This is how we continue forward. So a lot of other ways, I mean, there's a lot of strategies and ways that, like, I deal with my anxiety or my stress or just things that I'm going through. One of them is simple, recognizing my stresses. I stress about money a lot. And it sucks because I even know that money isn't everything. I know that's not gonna bring me happiness, but I stress about it a lot because I don't want to let my pops down. I don't want to let my family down. I want to, I don't want to be irresponsible. I don't want to be a kid anymore. So I know I stress about it a lot because what I want to do isn't necessarily the thing that I should be doing. And especially being a college athlete, I haven't necessarily had a stable job all throughout college because of sports. And, the debt has kind of accumulated a little bit more than I wanted to. So I definitely stress about that a lot. But the thing is with those stresses is I recognize it, like I recognize, dang, like I don't have money, but I don't repress it. I don't, when you recognize it, you can overcome it. When you recognize it is like the first step. Say I'm angry, say like, dang, for example, my sister's just getting me real mad. And instead of like taking out on somebody else, it's like, or expressing it in a healthy way. When you recognize it, like, I am angry right now, you are in control of the situation. Instead of acting out of emotion, acting out of that anger, you gain control instead of doing something that you might regret. Recognizing to me is the most simple, but it's always the first step. If I'm feeling anxiety, my heart beating, scared, recognizing I'm feeling anxious right now. Why? Let's relax. Let's chill. Get control of the situation by recognizing. Another way that I deal with like stress or anxieties is like avoiding is like I learned how to like avoid the regressive coping because like I mean I learned it from my dad that or my grandpa. I'm not saying it's a negative thing, but like even just men in general, we don't talk about our feelings, especially with men. We don't talk about our feelings. This is not something that we do. But what I've learned is that when you regress, when you have regressive coping, when you going backwards, when you're keeping it in, when nothing is beneficial, that's bad. And like being able to avoid it, redirect it, turn it into a positive or have a healthy outlet. Say I'm real upset, I got a bad grade. Instead of necessarily, soaking it in, letting it build up, and just having that negative energy and regressing, having regressive coping, be like, I got a bad grade. I'm gonna take that out. I'm gonna study harder. I'm gonna turn that into determination. Instead of keeping it in and hiding it, you get it out there. Just talking to anybody, get it out there. Turn it into a positive. Another way that I deal with things is honestly, I've learned it from counseling in itself, is being mindful. A lot of times I will be so in the moment, or a lot of the times, I'll be so trapped in my head about a lot of things that learning mindfulness reduced my stress a ton. There are techniques Like meditation, even just being aware of things, being mindful, you know, learning how to do things in the moment instead of just, having that fear of what's going to happen in the future, having that fear, oh, this might happen, this might not happen, this might happen. Mindful, I'm here right now. This is happening right now. This is how I do things right now. Like everything is okay in the moment, everything will work out. Mindfulness is so big in my life. It has had such a big impact to me. And honestly, I think it's really just learning how to be more mindful. Using meditation to reduce your stress is huge, in my opinion. It can help everybody. Another thing that I learned to do, I was the baby again of the family, the youngest, the kid, big old mama's boy. So, I was spoiled. Like, I could take things real personally. I can be sensitive. I can get, things can get to me easier. So one thing that I learned to do, and I owe a great deal gratitude to my best friends because they helped me to learn how to laugh at myself. Humor is huge. Like it is connected to stress relief because you laugh at things. If you learn how to laugh things off, not necessarily everything. Obviously, there's really serious situations. If you learn how to laugh things off, that can be so beneficial to you. Like, man, I used to be so sensitive, but when I learned how to laugh things off and have good humor connected to my stress, it helps out a ton. And just definitely turns them negatives into an even positive, really big positive. They say even smiling just makes your mood better. So learning how to take those stresses into laughs, that's even more than smiling. Have a really big positive impact on me personally. Another one that people might not think of that definitely helped me a lot is analyzing my sleep. My sleep was terrible. My sleep schedule the last few years was terrible. And up until recently, I've been really getting on top of that. And I realized that my sleep, or more so my lack of sleep, was actually really detrimental to my mental health and my stress. And I got in this bad cycle. It was like, don't sleep. And then I wake up, stressing. And then I stress, so I can't sleep. Stress, can't sleep, stress. Just got in this really bad cycle. So I learned, and it was really hard because I do have a really hyperactive mind. Sleep schedule, turning electronics off an hour before you go to bed. Only using your bed for sleep. Not having anything that's going to affect your sleep, because I learned that the quality of sleep that I get, the better I feel the next day, the more clear-headed I feel, the less groggy, and the less stressed out. When I have a clear head, I see things clearly. When I get good sleep, I have a clear head. So it all balances, it all revolves around each other. Another way that I have coped, or I deal with anxiety and stress, is knowing who's around me, knowing my support and what types. There's all forms of support. I just recently, as of last year, started going to counseling. I had never considered it before, especially being a man, I want to go to counseling. It helps a crazy ton. I'm just recognizing your support, your connections, your relationships, your communication. A lot of times you feel like you're alone and you deal with things alone, and then it's bad for you. It ends up having negative impacts. Recognizing these things and knowing that you are not alone, you got so many support. For me personally, I evaluated my type of social support. I have counseling, I have my best friends, I have my aunt, I have my mom, I have my sister, I have my dad. I know, and I have my pastor at church. I have a teacher of mine that I grew close to. I have a family parent. There's always somebody. There's always somebody. I'm going to say it again. There's always people that will support you, that will go out of the way for you. You just got to know, who to talk to, evaluate what type of social support that you have. the last thing is managing, that I learned that really takes stress away, is managing my time and priorities. I'm terrible at that. I'm a last minute kind of guy, and that brings a lot of stress. A lot of times, to be honest, I perform well under stress, so it's like I leave things last minute. That's when I get my best work, but it's not good though. I know it's not healthy. Just managing my time and priorities. You know, like that can priorities can be simple. If you make a list, say you make a list the night before, that can it's so simple. When you break things down and you really get your priorities straight, it's huge. Like for me, first step, simple as making your bed in the morning, having your room clear. Like I have really realized that it's true. A clear room, my mind is clear too. Making my bed is so simple in the morning. You know, I'm a wake up, I'm gonna wake up, read my Bible, make my bed, brush my teeth, eat breakfast, go do this, that, and that. Having those set plans, prioritizing my time, managing it. I'm gonna do homework at 4 o'clock. I'm gonna take a break at 6, then I'm gonna do more homework at 8 o'clock, and then I'm gonna get ready for bed. You know, like just managing your time and priorities is huge to me. It helps me focus, helps me stay on track, helps me not worry, because it's like, oh, I know when I'm going to get this done is this, versus putting everything off, or it's like, oh, I got to do this, this, and this. You're stressing about it, you know? Having that set plan, breaking things down, making the big problem small. Like the big problem, stress throughout the day, make it small. This is how I'm doing it. This is what I'm managing my time to be efficient and effective. Um, it's huge to me. And I really learned that, especially in college at my age, I think it is very important. So yeah, those are just some, those are a few strategies that I have for stress. And that is my last story, you know. Just to wrap it up, things can get tough. My family life, I mean, like as a man, I'm not gonna get into it. Or like just like that manly trait that I have is not necessarily good, but I'm not gonna get into it. But like my family been through a lot. We done been through it all. But those steps really have helped me. Like it's not something that you can just put off forever, else it's just gonna get worse. So just recognizing and knowing your steps and you know everything has really helped me with you know school stress about money, stress about family, just making sure we're all good. And it's helped me become the man that I am and the man that I want to be. You know, I'm still working on it every single day. And I know that I will become the man that my family needs me to be. I will fill my role, whatever that is. You know, just take it one day at a time and I don't stress. You know, thank you and have a good day, y'all.